Let's get this show on the road. Live on YouTube, live here on Zoom. Get this show on the road. Wait for some more people to hop in here. Yeah, I do a little broadcast here. We got a good amount of people that just joined in. Welcome in. We'll do this broadcast here real fast, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Is someone on YouTube saying, do you trade NQ or Forex? So NQ, are you referring to futures? If so, I do futures trading. Do you have any questions while I'm here? Before we get started with Technical Tuesday, just write it down, chat area. Yeah, so I do futures. I do futures trading for NASDAQ, mainly NASDAQ when it comes to futures. And then I'll do crypto as well. So I do crypto futures trades, and then Forex as well. It's my main one. All right, 7:05. We're about to get started. In case we see the email. Okay. Exciting things I got for you guys today. So, what I like doing is rewarding people that stay all the way to the end. In the beginning, we're going to get into the technicals. We will spot some setups for the London session or coming into the New York session. So be ready for those setups. But my analysis will be in the Forex market. I can analyze crypto as well. And if there's any pairs that you want me to analyze, just write in the chat area. Let's see on Zoom. Welcome, Andrea, Andrew, Andres, Bach, Christian, someone named iPhone. I don't know who that is. Kiali. Yeah, for everyone in here, where are you guys tuning in from? And just so I can get an idea where you guys are around the world. Oh, I actually just realized I did not allow the chat in the Zoom. So let me just, it was like my third time doing the Zoom and I can't. This is interesting. And then, it. Here we go. Attendees can chat. There we go. So I just opened up the chat. Yeah, and on YouTube. See in Cali. I'm in California right now as well. Orange County, California. And yeah, if you were on my last Zoom, mentioned that I'm planning on going to Dubai in February. And it's going to be actually pretty crazy. Um, yeah, so the main thing is going to Dubai probably for about a year, but not staying there the entire time, especially during the summertime when it starts getting really hot out there. Going to be going to a couple different places. Paris was one of them. Italy. Check out Rome. I've never been to Italy. Germany was one of the spots we were talking about. Singapore, Japan. Um, so we're planning on traveling like basically all around the world. And once you're in that part of the world, like in Dubai or Europe area, like it's just so easy to get to all these different countries. Um, so yeah, we're pretty excited for that. So yeah, all of 2025, still going to be trading, still plan on doing technical Tuesdays. It may have a time difference. So instead of 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, it might change. So when that time comes, I will inform everyone. But let me start sharing my screen and oh, I see some messages. Australia, Florida, California, Florida. Good morning from Europe. Welcome in. Connecticut. Awesome, awesome. All right, so by the way, stay to the very end. Promise it'll be worth it. I love rewarding people that stay here, that want to connect and want to learn. Uh, for me, I'm already earning from the market, so little tips and tricks that you can get from me can really go a long way. One thing is I can't guarantee profits, but legally on that aspect, but I'm sure if you copy what really successful people are doing, you'll be able to make some. All right, so if you can see my screen, if I start sharing, you can see my screen, put a one in the chat area, please. Just started to share now. Perfect, got the ones in. Thank you, thank you. All right. So I need to get better at these Zoom meetings. I plan on doing like some OBS type thing where I can have my second monitor checking the chat. Right now I'm like mixing it with my main chat and everything else. But yeah, thank you everyone for letting me know. Let's go ahead and get started. So yeah, later on we'll get into this strategy that I'll be showing you guys. For now, we will not be looking at that, and let me just make sure everything is removed. Okay, all right. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with looking at what we have for news. So news today, Tuesday, 11 p.m. Make sure the time is correct, okay? So 11 p.m. CNY new loans. I don't usually see that often. That's about. Yeah, CPI right here. There's going to be New York session. We have CPI news, high impact news, three red folders there. We have CAD, high impact news, BOC rate statements, overnight rates. But yeah, so high impact news on USD and CAD. So since there's high impact news on those, I'll look at the currency pair USD CAD and see if I notice anything, and I'll keep my focus around the USD and CAD pairs. Something. All right. So I do have USD CAD on my chart already. We get into that here. And by the way, the strategy that I plan on showing has to do with some of these take profit levels. So we'll get into that later on. For now, I'm just going to go ahead and remove them until we go and discuss this later on in this meeting. Okay, so let's look at the weekly time frame. Weekly time frame, see what we have here. I have a major area of support right here. Resistance was broken, price went up. Price currently now is overbought, and we see some divergence. So there is potential that price is expected to reverse. If price is expected to reverse, that means the US dollar should be getting weaker over the CAD. So keeping that in mind, that'll be like the main focus. US dollar is potentially going to get weaker. So let's see if all the other pairs kind of align the same with what can possibly happen. So we have 3 at the very top. Prices overbought. Don't pay attention to that. We'll get into that later. So we have 3s at the top. Let's see. Okay. So definitely bullish higher highs we have going on. If I was to draw a channel, so I'm going to put my channel tool right here. That one would be sense the good ones. Okay. Kind of better. So with this channel right here, you can see prices going up into this channel. We have 1, 2, 3 touches at the top. So price is expected to drop down, but overall we are in a bullish market. So just keeping that. Getting closer here, definitely some more divergence going on there. Divergence as this is doing higher highs, this is showing divergence there. But yeah, we would have to see what's going to happen during like London and New York, because it may, like London may come down like this, maybe pull back a little bit, and then New York may do something like this. Boom. Right. By the way, a lot of my predictions are pretty accurate. If you were to see last week's Technical Tuesday and see like some of the things I called out, it's just yeah, it's insane. Like I'll get into a couple of them right here. And if you don't follow me on TradingView, make sure to follow me. You can get notified on there. You get notified when I call out certain plays. But yeah, this was, I believe, last week. Let me see. What was last? Last week was the 3rd. So I know sometime in the 3rd I mentioned about this over here. Yeah, December 3rd, I mentioned this breakout right here, and price was going to go up for GBP USD. So we can see that price did continue to rally up, and did hit its final target over there. But yeah, a couple different ones that you'll find on trading. Definitely the Euro JPY. I remember it was Euro JPY and GBP JPY that I mentioned last week that played like exactly to the T of what I expected it to do. So this was last week, Tuesday. You can see right here, December 3rd. If I press play, literally did the exact same thing. Breakout, retest right here, continuation. So yeah, so that being said, pay attention to these that I'm pointing out, because it can really, you can find some really good setups for good trades. But yeah, so I think it's going to drop to about here, London, pull back up, and then getting in on the pullback right here for USD news. So USD news happens. Uh, yeah. So based off of where the USD news is at right now, let's see. There's another high impact news PPI over here. Hmm. Yeah. So this one's a little difficult because of where the most of the high impact news is happening is usually where the big breakouts happen, not really this retracement right here. So usually you'd see like something like this for high impact news. So you may see something like this and then maybe pullback coming down to like this. That's what I think may happen. Or pullback like this and then continuation like this with this PPI news. So we'll see what happens there. But as of now, I'm thinking it's going to drop down temporarily and then push back up. So USD is expected to drop, is my opinion. By the way, if there's any questions, just write it in the chat area. I'd be happy to answer them. Someone on YouTube asked, "What's your trading view?" It's a Risky Ricky. Risky Ricky. If you go on Trading View and look at Risky Ricky, you'll be able to find it. I will post a link here on Trading View. I mean, on YouTube, and I will post a link for everyone here on Zoom. Yeah, all you have to do is just click the follow button right there. Um, click the follow button, you'll be notified when there's like any type of setups that I see potentially happen. So, and not all of them are going to hit. Okay, let's play on. Like this one right here didn't hit; it hit later after, but yeah, that was a stop out good profit day. But yeah, for the most part, most of them will go in its prediction. So back here, so let's get into some more USD news. And if any USD pairs, if there's any pair that you want me to analyze, put it in the chat area as well. I do have a question here from Dre's. Do you trade every single CPI, PPI news event prior to the news, or do you usually wait until after impact news? Then enter? It's a good question. So I will usually try to enter my position before predicting what's going to happen with the news. And my risk to reward is usually like 1 to 3, 1 to 2, like sometimes 1 to 4, depending on the setup and what I see. But you can have much tighter stops, um, but you would have to wait for more of price action during those times, and you'll see like it's the best way that I can explain that is let's say you see price doing this. It's going up like this, and you see price action like this. And then news is about to hit right now. Okay, so when I see something like that, I would know like my fib levels like this. I see it's at a nice target level. And then when news hits, I would most likely have like a pending sell order somewhere down here, stops like this, and then take profit like I'm aiming pretty low down. And if you stick to the end of this training or end of this technical analysis, I will show you some more of a game plan. But for now, not too much training. Any pairs you guys wanted to analyze? I think USDJPY. USDJPY. I know this one's a one that am seeing like very bearish momentum, even though if it was bullish for a while. So let me just mark off my areas here. So main area is right here. Keeping that in mind because right now price is around that area that may reject. And if you see overall on the bigger uh, view right here, you can see like a right shoulder formation right there. If I do my Fibonacci, 6150% levels. So yeah, definitely a really good um, sell potentially long term. Right now, it's hitting that exact area where I want it to be at. So that's like kind of good. Only thing is I do see like this indecisive comes back up, kind of like a morning star formation. But yeah, it's nothing I'm really worried about because it's on the weekly time frame. Here is where we're going to see more of the structure. So daily, got the key right in here. It's a pricing go up just a tad bit more there. Get RSI. Right now. So if you notice what I'm doing here, I zoomed out all the way from weekly and I'm getting zoomed in. And you can see like if I was just to look at the daily, I wouldn't notice that this is a potential right shoulder right here on a bigger time. And by knowing that, I can know that most likely this entire area is bearish. So I'm looking to short these positions, trying to get like a very key entry. And sometimes these positions could be like really tight stops, and really deep take profits. So let's zoom in some more. You see, the USD CAD, I expected it to drop down, potentially dollar getting weaker. We'll have to see, but we need to see the forecast actually. We will. Forecast, we have 0.3, 0.3. So it's about the same as what it was before for these forecasts. So yeah, not too much there. Letting me know, but I do think there's going to be some bearish momentum. So yeah, the news is going to push price down most likely. That's usually what causes these levels to make price go from these levels into a downtrend. So yeah, I would say I'm expecting more of a bearish push for USD than I am bullish. So um so price is coming up to these levels. Yeah, so as of now, the structure is still into an uptrend, as you can see right here. It's right here at the previous high there. So I would want it to potentially break that structure again to be considered more of a downtrend momentum. So I'm going to be eyeing the 1 hour. So maybe by New York session, it would have done this entire movement here, something like this. And then I'll be looking to break out for news. But we'll have to wait for New York session to get on. Okay. Let's see some messages in here. Okay, Callie mentioned gold. We'll check that out. I know I analyzed gold and I believe it did exactly what I expected it to do from last week's technical analysis. And in March said NZD CHF. NZD CHF is usually not fair to now do. But check it out. By the way, my wife got me addicted to matcha. You guys ever tried matcha? Matcha. Like a Japanese tea. Callie said, yeah. March said, good stuff. Hmm. It's amazing. It's amazing. Clean energy. Um, not sponsored by matchas. Okay, let's see. Let's see. All right. So, so yeah, that's my prediction overall with USD. I expect it to go down in price. Let's go check out first request, which is XAU USD. Gold and just go back. Shit. Yeah, USD did go up. Oh, I really did not save my damn likes. That is crazy. Okay. Well, anyways, I expect for this to drop like this. Boom. I put this on my red list here for really good potential. So XAU USD gold. So this was this last week's prediction. No, this was a while ago. So Tuesday. Yeah, it was over here. Okay, yeah. So actually, that was my prediction right there. That blue arrow right there. That price is going to go up. So price did go up. But yeah, let's I'm gonna erase everything because it's no longer really doing that whole formation there. I'm just gonna erase everything, start from fresh. So that's seem to be there. So price is definitely overbought. Still in the uptrend. Really strong uptrend there. Yeah, based off of where I see it right now, I think it's gonna do something like this. I think it's gonna do like a triangle formation and consolidate into this area and then break out either towards the upside or the downside. So yeah, just keeping that in mind. But if I want to get into like potential rejection in this area, that I see this all the time, like just based off of how things are going, even though if it's rejecting off the support, um, and there was a rectangle formation right here. So this is rectangle distance from low to high is a distance that it should go when it breaks. So it's like it's already reached that point. But now the price is overbought. I do my Fibonacci from here to here. It's usually not the case. I usually do it from low to high, but because I've seen this many times happen before. And it'll go around 78.6 or 88.6, and then it will just stay trapped inside this area. Reason why I think that as well is because if I look more into this, it's kind of like a, it's kind of like this high is a lower high, but then this high is a higher low, right? So it's kind of like trapped within this area. Higher low, lower high. And so usually this lower high would attach it like this, but yeah, I think we would have to break this previous high for it to even be considered a good uptrend, and then potentially come here and look for an entry somewhere around here for a continuation. But as of now, it's kind of like in an area where we just have to see where price moves. Yeah, so not so confident on this one just yet. And if I go down to the 1 hour, let's see the structure here. Yeah, I don't see anything. Let's see. So gold, I don't know, but I do think that this one is going to do this. And then somewhere over here, look for a break. Yeah. See some messages I got here. Enos, hello, brother. How are you? How are you? You're killing it. Thank you. Appreciate it. And if there's any questions that you have about like what I'm doing in my analysis, just let me know. Like Marge just said, is that considered a double top? So no, no. So double tops for me, the way that I look at double tops is it has to be in an uptrend momentum. Like here, this one right here is a double top. And you can see uptrend momentum, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, low, double top, breakout. This right here is a perfect double top breakout entry. Okay. So compared to here, it's getting closer to resistance, but even if it touches the resistance and rejects, it's not a double top. Yes, it has two tops, but it's not the double top breakout formation. For double top breakout formation, like you would need the double tops to be kind of close to each other and the structure to be close to each other. This already did a highs, and then it did its lows, and then it did its consolidations, and then it did other highs. So no, it's not a double top. Um, yeah, we like maybe because this is a 1 hour, right? So if I go to 30 minutes, okay, no, 15 minutes, no, 5 minutes, maybe 5 minute. Okay, 5 minute, we have a head and shoulder pattern. The breakout's about to happen. Now, this is if you want to be a scalper, you can place a sell entry right here. Stops out of this wick. Take profit. I would say it's most likely going to be here, even though usually the distance from here to here is about the distance that goes. It's about the same. So, we'll probably see by the end of this analysis that it's most likely going to hit that take profit when it breaks. And like you can scalp these, but you just have to constantly be monitoring the market and uh, for scalps, I'd be okay with scalps if I know that it's in an area where it's a really strong resistance level. Right now, is it a really strong resistance level? Not yet. Right? It needs to be a bit higher up into this level here. So you see where it's at down here compared to where it should be at up here. And even that resistance level, let me see if it respects multiple times. So yeah, it does respect multiple times, but yeah, so like these areas where it's hitting support, hitting support, hitting support, That's where you could zoom in and scalp when you see like a setup. And we're getting into education here, but might as well. One thing about me is I do like teaching. So let's look at this setup. And you'll see we have a strong support. You'll see within the candlesticks, most likely, it's going to let you know that it's ready to reject. Right here, yes, it's doing like 1, 2, 3, kind of support level right there, but it's not at a strong level of support. Right here, this is the important part. We have threes at the bottom. See if we see anything with price action. Double bottom. Double bottom. Wait for breakout. Breakout. Looks like a stop hunting type of thing. For people that put stops like right below. And even if you were to put it like right below the wick, yeah, I wouldn't have touched it. But yeah, that's why you want to get in on like areas of a strong support because you can catch moves like this and risk to reward could be insane. If you were to get in here earlier, and right here, we have a hammer formation at this level of support. So hammer confirming that it's pushing up and then breakout here and then take profit. Like usually for something like this, you'd aim for highs over here. So you can see hit the high and then reject it. So yeah, that's how you would like look from far and then zoom in to scout things. And some of you like wonder how like these trades that I'll call out in the signals will be like accurate, where sometimes there's like no drawdown. And it's because I'm waiting, not all of them, but for the most part, I'm waiting for entries, waiting for that precise entry to get in. Do you have a cheat sheet of patterns to share? Yes. If you go to WAP, which is a new platform that I'm on, WAP, and you go to Market Masters, Market Dash Masters Dash Lite, there will be a free section right here, Forex Trading Basics. So it's free to join into the Lite plan. That you would go down and right here, like the ones that I was just looking at, was patterns to do buys. And oops. Why is it doing that? Patterns for buys and load. And so it's right here. In that scenario, it kind of did like a triple bottom, 1, 2, 3, breakout, and then yeah. So you see them all over the market, different time frames. It just depends on where you're looking at. But if you catch it at a level of support or resistance, a strong level of support or resistance, not a 5 minute, not a 5 minute. Even though 5 minutes you can catch some areas like right here, resistance broke out, now it's support, double bottom down here. Probably would be easier to see on the 1 minute, but double bottom and then breakout towards the upside. But yeah, there's so many entries throughout the day that you can just catch. You just have to wait for those opportunities to present itself. But I like looking at the bigger time frame just so I can get like what I'm going to do for the entire week, the entire month. Am I going bullish or bearish? Like USD CHF, I was bearish for a while, and then yesterday I was more bullish. Um, But yeah, like certain pairs, you just have to kind of see how it plays out and where it's at. Um, so yeah, question on YouTube. What is considered strong support and strong resistance? Good question. So, and I'll go into the guide here. It doesn't get into like too much on a strong level, but here we go. So this is all free training, by the way. You can go through it. So right here, it's just showing two touches. You can see resistance. As resistance is broken, it's now support. So yeah, that's usually how it would look like. But this right here is indicating a strong level of resistance and support. So strong levels is when it's touching multiple times. I would say three touches would be considered a strong support or resistance level. Three touches. Okay. Three areas of rejection at the same area. So I go back out here, I'll just point the area out. Okay, so like right here. So you can see multiple areas where it hits and it bounces off. Here, hits, bounces off. Here, it bounced off. Here, it hit, bounced off. Here, it hit, had some reaction. It broke out, came back, touched like support there, bounced off, came back, touched like support there, broke off. So when it has multiple touches like that, that's a really strong level of resistance. And most likely in the future, anytime price is around there, like how it is right about now, there should be some sort of reaction. Did it touch it? It got kind of close, but usually it's like when it touches. So we'll see. Right here. Let's see. There's some other areas. Hit, rejection, but it broke above. Just because it rejects doesn't mean it's going to be a full reversal, but it's just an area where you can expect potential reversal from a downtrend to an uptrend. Um, but yeah, strong levels of support and resistance here. It's like consolidating within that support, and then it bounced up. Yeah. So so yeah, it's just something you just gotta look for and find multiple touches. So let's get into the next one, the one that's was in March, NZDCHF. And then we're about to get into the training, so thank you guys for waiting. Get to the training, we'll just have a little bit more matcha. You guys see any pattern going on right here? Potential? Let's put it in the chat area because you guys are analysts as well, since I'm teaching you guys as I go. Perfect. You got a couple double bottom answers. Um, okay. Yes. So double bottom. But just because you see a double bottom doesn't mean you get in. Okay. Doesn't mean you buy right here at this low. That's not how double bottoms work. Double bottoms, you would have to wait for the structure to be broken and going into the uptrend. Okay. So you can either get in on the breakout or you can get in on the retest when price, usually for the most part, will come back down, hit that level of was once resistance, is now support, and then bounce into the upside. Um, so yeah, just keep that in mind. But you don't just get in there. Like double bottom is just one reason why you should get in, but it shouldn't be the only reason. You mix that with everything else, like this, mark off here. Okay, so price is definitely at a level of support. You can see multiple areas where it's not really wanting to break here, wicked, and then lots of bullish uh, buyers came in, pushed the price back up. And usually after this sort of candle, you won't really see it drop down into the wick anymore. This is like kind of a dead zone. Usually it doesn't go back down there, especially when it's at a level of support. It won't usually go down. And it's on its journey right now to the top. So keeping that in mind with NZD looking at a bigger time frame, I can see this turning around. I can see this turning around and reversing. Even though if it's dropping, that's potential there. So let's zoom in. Okay. Yeah, that's probably why I don't really like NZD because what is going on over here? It's just higher highs, lower lows, lower highs, higher low, lower high. Like it's all over the place. Definitely right now it's choppy. It's choppy and I don't like it. But could possibly get in on a scalp trade for a buy. This would be like an early buy entry. Uh, early buy entry, but yeah, buy stuff there. Had a nice hammer down here, which is good. Usually after the hammer, it's going to go up into that resistance. The first resistance was hit. Maybe that next one will come. And because it's possibly doing a double bottom, or if it's not a double bottom and it's doing maybe a triple bottom, that's fine because we see it's rejecting off support and we see potentially it's going to do this. Maybe hitting here, maybe a triple bottom, and then it decides to break out. So either way, this should be a pretty solid entry. Let me just check one final thing, which is, all right, it's not a good entry unless you're monitoring it closely. Unless you're monitoring it closely, you get in on the break, it's most likely going to rise, maybe hit this trend line and maybe reject. So you would adjust stops to break even. It might hit your break even, that's fine. And you just take out. Now, if it hits your break even, you got to follow with me here. So let's say price comes up and then it pulls back down, but you have stops at break even. So you're not going to lose at that point. Might get stopped out, but then you may be able to get in another entry if it comes back down, hits this level of support, and then breaks out like that. Then you buy over here. Stops, I would keep it below this low. And then take profit like this. That would have been a better entry right there. Sometimes the retest entries for me, they're better than the actual breakout entry, just because you can keep the stop loss pretty tight down there at the previous low. Can you talk about the new algo? Who is that, by the way? iPhone. I don't know your name, but you're saying iPhone is your name. Means you joined in from your phone. But just so I can put a name with text. I know a couple of names in here. Radic, you've been showing up every single time. I know it's like 4 a.m. your time there in Europe, so I appreciate you for joining in. You know, I'm sure you've gotten tons of value from the last sessions that I've done, so I'm going to give you some more value on this one. We're actually going to get into the training portion here soon. Even though I've been including training. Oh, Flash. I know Flash. I do know Flash from the Market Masters event, the mansion event out in Las Vegas. Is that right? Let me know if I got the right Flash. Said hell yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I've been good. I've been good. Just living life, new dad. It's been about a year now being a new dad, but yeah, first 6 months were like hell. Couldn't really do anything. Because I was trying to help out and we didn't do the whole nanny thing. And we had a little bit of help from my family, but we didn't do a nanny or anything like that. Just trying to do it ourselves. And definitely, if we do have more kids in the future, then we're having a full time staff for every little thing. Right now, we have it for like cooking and cleaning, laundry, all that stuff. But I would say the hardest one is taking care of food. But yeah, everything's been good. Just been trading and living life. Can't really complain. Hope everything's been good with you. Radix said, can you check USDCHF? USDCHF is the one that I was talking about earlier. It did have a head and shoulder pattern. I was bearish on it, but then I saw that there was some pullback happening that I didn't like so much. But yeah, I can pull that one up here real quick. And by the way, so today I'm going to extend it just a little bit longer. It's 7:54 here. Should have started the training. I did kind of start some training at around 7:45, but I'm going to extend it a bit longer to get into the main training that I'm going to get into with you guys today. So you don't want to miss out. USD CHF. Give me 1 second. Okay, USD CHF. I'll just check that out real quick. Sorry. So last night, London session, I did get in for a buy. You can see right here, price was being trapped right before London session. London session, you can see right here, it was at 0 o'clock right here, London session, which is midnight my time. 0 o'clock is midnight my time. That's why it's 0 o'clock here. And so London session, price broke out of this range. You can see it was like being trapped into this area. This was a potential projection that I thought may happen, is going up into this level and then dropping down. But yeah, usually with ranges like this, when price is like just being trapped, you usually see the distance from here to here. It's about the distance that it will go up when it breaks. So it's still on its way up, but it's basically already there. So yeah, that's kind of, I thought what would have happened was it was going to break out and then retest. Or maybe this was a retest. I thought maybe this would have been the retest right here. Breakout, retest, and then continue to drop down right there, rejecting off 38.2 and a strong reaction coming down. But as of now, we did not receive that. But yeah, I still think it's still going to drop down. And I didn't mark off this line here, but I'm going to mark it off. It was the resistance like this. So right now, it is our resistance. So I would say there's definitely some potential for this to hit here, and it's at around 61.8. Hit here and drop down. So let me remove this. I guess I could keep this because remove my fib here, here. Okay. So it's here now. So where is okay, so it's here now, and I think it's going to reject coming down. Do have one push, two push. USD CHF. USD, I did say it's going to get weaker based off of what I've been seeing on USD JPY, USD CHF, I mean USD CAD. So I do think it's going to drop down unless everything just continues to rise up. So that's just something to keep in mind. That's why it's important to have like the bias of what I think is going to happen with most of the USD pairs. Do I think USD is going to go up or it's going to go down? Because it controls about 80% of the market's volatility. So I'm looking to see whether it's going to break or it's going to not. Great. It is 8 o'clock now. Let's get into the training. The training we've been waiting for. It's actually debating for this training to not record it, just to give the ones that are live the most value. Because the ones that are watching recorded, I don't think they deserve it as much as the ones that are showing up live. Now I understand some people they gotta go to sleep or different parts of the world where you can't really make it at this time, but I do believe that